Lanes TV, the leading experience.
Viewers, you are welcome again on the program Reflections. And today we are reflecting on the presidency of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I'm so excited because of the caliber of guests that I have on this program this afternoon. But I want them to introduce themselves. On my right, I have...
Welcome viewers, I'm Bola Ahmed.
And my name is Comrade Femi Babalola Obagun. Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome, gentlemen. Today I want us to, of course, reflect on, like I said, the presidency of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, what's your take on this? He's coming into power. What's your take on it? The presidency, that it has come to manifestation. How will you react to it?
My reaction will go in the sense, in the line that we have not, that is unprecedented, that we have a kind of president of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In the sense that there has never been a politician, a Nigerian politician, that being a progenitor of a political party, and that party that he led and he became the president of the party. Coming from Lagos, we knew he came with the broom. He was from the AD as a governor. SDP, the senator. He went to exile. He was an Adeco chieftain. Then he went to exile during the dark days of the General Sani Abacha. Coming back, becoming the president. Since then, after becoming the governor, after the governor, he became a leader of a political party, which he was a major founder of, the AC, with the broom. And philosophically, I would say it this way. From Lagos, he swept from Lagos, the southwest, and swept till national, to Abuja, and became the president. So, he's been a man of the people, the first man of the people, I would say, the first grounded politician, the politician that is of great repute. So it's a plus for this giant of Africa. It's really a plus.
Is that the way you see it?
I think I will look at it from this way. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, like he has said, full-blooded politician. It's a factor as far as Nigerian politics is concerned. We all believe him that he will perform well. But let me say this, that when Obasanjo resumed power in 1999, the situation in which we found ourselves at that time was very, very different from what we're having now. Obasanjo hit the ground running the moment he entered in 1999. He embarked on short-term diplomacy. It was the time Nigeria has been declared a pariah state. You know, there was this problem of Nigeria with every other nation, that Abacha, that really emanated from Abacha regime at that time. So he started moving from one nation to the other to make sure that we became the friend of those nations again. And at the same time, he was going all about wherever we are having debt, he wanted to settle it in one way or the other. That was Obasanjo. And for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president, he started with the issue of subsidy, which many people believe that, okay, these are the way in which the aristocrats and then the bourgeois in this nation, they have been robbing Peter to pay Paul. And from there, everybody look at it from that way, that fine, this man has started on a good note. Not only that, he started fighting corruption. When corruption will fight back, nobody will know. But for now, he has started fighting the passive or the assumed corrupt individual.
Okay, Bimbo. Asiwaju had to contend with the forces of opposition to good governance in Nigeria. Will you say that before he could emerge as president? Is that what you mean when you said he faced all kind of obstacles?
And the obstacles he faced, I really want to lay emphasis on facing obstacles. The obstacles he faced, he seems to have the wherewithal to surmount all these obstacles. As in, right from, he was the one, like he said, about the former president Obasanjo, at a time he was denied, his state was denied federal allocation. He overcame. That was the time Lagos even had more internal generated revenue of Lagos State, even went high. And it's still going high till now. And his leadership of Lagos State as the governor has been within the same kind of people that he started his government with. From Fashola, who is the chief of staff, his former chief of staff, to Ambody, who is the accountant general under his administration for 8 years, to Sanwo-Olu now, who is also a commissioner under the administration of the same party, the succession. Now coming to Nigeria, and everybody could see that it changed the fortunes of Lagos State. When he was prudently, you could see there were job creation. You could talk of LASMA, those ones on the roads, and we talk of BRT. Like Asiwaju once said during the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Koloko in 2019, that all these things you see in Lagos, the BRT, the LASMA, all these started with his leadership. And it has always been like that. Now increasing, and he is just somebody, you find out that he was devoid of ethnocentrism. There was Ben Akabueze, who is from the southeast, that became a commissioner in Lagos the first time. And look at all those people he put in his cabinet. You look at Aregbesola, look at from Osun State, Asiwaju, the Attorney General, who later became the Vice President of the country, from Ogun State, Dele Alake, Ekiti State, who is now a special advisor to him. So you look at him building men, is a leader, like the late Emir of Bogu gave him a title, another name with the Jagaban of Bogu. Okay. That is the leader of warriors. And those warriors, all of them, he now put them in sensitive posts before he became the president of the country. So that is
I think I want to
let me put it this way. He is emphasizing on the people that he lifted up.
Yes, yes.
Will you say that some of the ambition of these people became an obstacle to him when he wanted to ascend the presidency?
Well, I think I'm going to talk on that. But first, he said something about the federal government denying the Lagos State government
of allocation
of what is meant for them as far as the federal allocation is concerned. It was as a result of what Obasanjo termed the stubbornness of Tinubu. He wasn't supposed to have created those LCDA. He's supposed to have gotten that opportunity from the National Assembly. So because of that, he said he's not going to give it to him. Thank God Tinubu is now the president. Let's see what he's going to do about the LCDA. That's number one. Number two, it was the time they introduced the tax regime in Lagos, and a lot of millions of people, they were in pain. I don't see that as a good economical theory. That's one. Number three is, truly, he promoted several people, which in one way or the other, people perceived that, okay, they turned to be his enemy. It wasn't Tinubu's idea. It was Obasanjo's idea. And I will tell you why. Obasanjo look at Korea. Look at what they did in South Korea. The man promoted about 5 indigenous people. Samsung, the LVG, and what have you. They became what they are today, and all over the world, whatever they are marketing has international standard order, which is ISO. You know, it's one of the effect of globalization. So I think the same thing. He has done that. He promoted a lot of people, like Obasanjo did in Nigeria too, to promote certain people. Like what Atiku did when he was with Obasanjo. Majority of the people in the cabinet of Obasanjo were being brought in by Atiku. So he has not done something very extraordinary, but yet he's a man of the people. Let me put it that way. Fine.
No,
they now turn out to be. They now turn to him, whether they are very negative to him or not. It depends on how we look at it.
Who were those that were negative to him?
Yeah, exactly. Now, when we look at, there was a time Asiwaju stood up to become the president of the nation, and all of us believe that, okay, Asiwaju got to where he is, the pinnacle of his success or whatever, because of, as a result of the effort of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The same thing Aregbesola. But you imagine, can we ask ourselves a very honest question? If you have been promoting people to go to the helms of affairs and they now turn again to fight you, you understand? It's either you are not good or they are not good. It depends on the public opinion of the people.
I want us to look at it this way. do you believe in payback? Should a politician, or anybody for that matter, expect payback from people who have been his beneficiary? I mean, their beneficiaries.
It depends on the kind of those his beneficiary as he is a benefactor. If you are talking of payback, everybody has ambition. Everybody has an ambition. And once a politician, the peak of a politician to me is to become the president of his country. That should be the peak. Though that is if you want to be at a all-out politician and you want to go to the peak. Now, everybody is a matter of choice, and you can vie for any post you want to vie for. But in the sense of payback, I wouldn't really support, I personally, if I look at the way the former vice president came out to contest. I believe the closeness both of them are for being an attorney general or under his administration, Bola Ahmed, the president's administration when he was a governor of Lagos State. That closeness and becoming the vice president of the country. That time, anything it should be in the house, a discussion between both of them that okay, I'm contesting or you are contesting. They should be amicable. But it came to as a surprise. At the time, I was thinking, it is a setup. That after some time, the vice president would just throw his weight behind the Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But it did not happen. Even at the ground of the primaries, when the current Senate president, Akpabio, Godwin Akpabio, we become the first person that we drew from the PDP. He was from the PDP. Then we have those people everybody was taking were against Asiwaju before. The Fayemis and the Amos. Though it was like insinuation to me. But all of them came out and supported Asiwaju. But the vice president was still there. The former president was there. He went into the race, but all the same. Like Yoruba will say, Alaban Foko Leon.
Okay.
When the result of the primaries came out, he came third.
Okay. Now, let's look at it this way. Atiku Abubakar was a former ally to Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Exactly.
Tinubu supported him, wanted him to become president, though it didn't happen. Nuhu Ribadu is another ally of Tinubu. Tinubu supported him, wanted him to become president. How will you compare the attitude of the two of them to the ambition of Tinubu?
All of them, they perform excellently well, and I will tell you why. Truly, Atiku stood up, he fight for position under People's Democratic Party. Maybe what people are expecting was that Atiku should step down for Tinubu to be able to go. No. Life is not turn by turn, it's by divine appointment. Whoever that God desire, that it should be the head, it will be. That's number one. Then number two is that don't forget that they are not in the same political climb. They are in different political parties. And the moment PDP gave Atiku the ticket, it cannot because of that renege. I'm not going to do it because of Tinubu. No. Pursue your own goal, let me pursue my own goal. So if at the end of the day, it is not that Tinubu gave money to Atiku go and contest the election.
Just support.
He came into his party, and nobody wants a party. If you want to, and that is the more reason I've been talking about all these APC, AD, whatever. You don't build party round about a personality. It is the personality that will be round about party. It's like they have built APC round about Tinubu, which I think is wrong. Mm-hmm. And that is the more reason we are referring to. Okay, he has helped. No, he came to everybody. The political party belongs to everybody. Mm-hmm. So he came to pick ticket, and you gave it to him. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, there was this bipolar political method, and they still find themselves contesting against each other. However, I still want to believe that tomorrow another Atiku can still fight against Tinubu.
Well, you are talking about parties.
Yes, party.
But there are personalities also.
Yes, exactly.
Inside parties.
Yes, exactly. But we should not build. We can build political parties.
Okay, you come in.
Sorry, if we don't build a party around, like you said. Nobody wants to build something around anybody. But there is always leadership. Don't forget leadership. Mm-hmm. If we are talking about action group today, all the logistics of action group, you give it to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the sage.
Yeah.
when after, like me and you, my own analysis, I said, after Awolowo died, UPN, what is called UPN, died because there was no driver, the progressive. Then came Bola Ige with the AD. And in the UPN, everywhere Awolowo, through his political shrewdness, when you talk about Baba Kekere of Lagos, Jakonde, Onabanjo of Ogun State, Bola Ige of Oyo State, they all took their
Ambrose Ali from Edo State.
They all took their leadership through Awolowo. Then when it came to Bola Ige, it was before we used to hear any campaign, you used to hear the name of who? Hawo. That shows political leadership, that somebody must lead. Now when it comes to AD, it wasn't Hawo anymore. They say Arole Awolowo, Ige. They will say, wait, let me learn. They will now say Ige everywhere.
Yes.
Now after Bola Ige was assassinated, AD died too.
Yeah.
There, because the leadership wasn't a rallying point. There should be a political rallying point.
Yeah.
And Bola Ige was the political rallying point
at that time.
Then came AC to ACN. Then Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the political rallying point
of everybody
of the party.
Now,
like Bisi Akode said after they assassinated Bola Ige, with the Comet newspaper, I can remember, which later became the Nation. He said, those who killed Ige thought they had killed the body of the progressive. They thought they had killed
the spirit.
They thought they had killed the progressive in the southwest. He said they only killed the body, not the soul. Yeah. He said another person will come that will be mightier than Ige.
Sir,
now he's talking about what?
About
leadership.
No,
he's talking
leadership.
about.
I know leadership.
No, he didn't even talk about
name.
He
was talking about leadership. No, you see, I know one thing, sir, that leaders emerge. Because see, there's no way we want to do that. Either here in Japan or in America, leaders will emerge at a time. But this is what I'm saying. That you build your political party around about personality. You know what killed Action Group? Mobocracy.
What?
Mobocracy killed them.
How?
The same thing. He's going to kill even when...
What is mobocracy?
What is mobocracy? Can you emphasize, please? Enlighten us.
Because of our time.
When you
talk of mob, you talk of people.
Mob, okay.
You talk of mob, you talk of people.
Or do you want to talk it
mobocracy?
Father Cook will not say myonization. My own.
Now, I want us to look at the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And even though the case, there are some cases
still in Tribunal, in the court.
But we want to look at the few days that he has spent out of, in the office. He has, particularly the withdrawal of subsidy. How do you view it? How do you view this?
It's a good thing that he has removed subsidy, because we believe that the few people in Nigeria, they are enjoying at the expense of the large percentage of people. And we still believe that the money that's been accrued because subsidy has been removed could be used for every other thing. Maybe that is the more reason they introduce again the soft loan for students. That is that. But let us look at the international perspective. Nigeria is still having problem. If actually Nigeria is the giant of Africa, and we believe that is the centerpiece of African policy as we have been known from 1963, then what we have done, to me, a little bit is wrong, except Mr. President rise up to the occasion by providing a palliative measure for Republic of Benin and Cameroon. Nigeria sneezes, Cameroon catches cold, and Republic of Benin. It's a problem. If there, God forbid, but if there is any unfortunate betrayal of anything over there, the spillover will come to this place. They will still stretch out our GDP, which means as Mr. President is thinking of palliative measure for us here, he should do the same thing. There must be corresponding effect to Republic of Benin and that of Cameroon and every other nation that rely on our socio-economic importance. Otherwise, we are sitting on the gunpowder.
Yeah, he said that, but the president had already made a statement, definite statement about that. He said, we cannot be a farmer at Christmas for our neighboring countries. If we look at it today, anybody that says Nigeria is all right, Nigeria is sick, and she has been sick years back, even more more of the years in independence. Nigeria is sick. It's still the same. It's in my write-up. It's still the same. What somebody, sometime, a musician, had notified, resounded, said, water, light, food, house. That is Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Water, light, food, house. You won't see them. It's still the same old story. We can't afford. The common man cannot afford. The Nigerian, a typical Nigerian, can afford affordable water and availability of water, light, power. We are suffering. Nigeria is suffering. Now take our and share this suffering. If we want to do this suffering, let's share it with our neighbors. They must be share it with us too. Now we will take care of ourselves first. My own opinion, like the president said, we won't be Father Christmas to neighboring countries. When we take ourselves of this sleeping giant, let it wake up first. It's sleeping. When we wake up, then we can now go and start waking up those other neighboring countries that are like our former president Muhammadu Buhari, when he gave some money, I think it was some money to, is it Nigeria? We all look at look at us, we are now not comfortable. And you are giving some, that is, they have their own government too. Like the Ghanaian ex-president said, Alpha Conde. He said, we don't even know the kind of president we have. When they were talking about the issue of dual citizenship, let me just end it with that. He said, this president we have, then when he was a national leader of his party, has been helping Pan-Africanist, the Africanist government, African presidents. Other ones that he sees that they are he has been contributing to the development of other African countries. So now he didn't just start today. When he wasn't the president, he has been doing that. Based on Africa, where he said he gave him ambassadorial extraordinary, not citizenship. Okay. But he came out to tell us his contribution towards other African countries.
That Nigeria or Nigerians is suffering of certain things does not foreclose the idea that we should perform our role in the subnational theory. And how do I mean it? In 1973, or 75, they formed ECOWAS. And in the Committee of Nations, we agreed that the Secretariat Headquarters of ECOWAS should go to Niger Republic. When Babangida came, he assured them again that he's going to build that Secretariat Headquarters, that no nation should contribute, that Nigeria, we are so economically viable that we can do it. He built it in Abuja instead of Niger Republic. That's an offense, number one, that Nigeria has committed. The second one is this out of what Tinubu has introduced. If Tinubu will not take care of the Republic of Benin and Cameroon, and you believe, no, sincerely, if actually we are giving Chad and we are giving Guinea, we are giving them petrol, they are buying PMS from us, we are giving it unto them before now. I am not saying that we should continue, but there must be a measure that will cushion the effect of whatever socio-economic thing that will happen there. Otherwise, there is going to be problems.
You are right. Let's wait till then. If we had somebody that said he has been assisting African president before he became president.
One thing.
So wait till.
Let's see. There's one thing I want to ask you, and that is: do you think that Asiwaju's performance can make us to forget? To forget any regret over over Obi or Atiku's presidency.
Until we are able to see, we cannot quickly judge. And I want to quote Damadeshina, when Lam was the governor of blessed memory of Oyo State then, and people were telling him 6 months after that, you need to go for second. I say it's too early for you to say that. First of all, see my performance. The first step,
governor in Oyo State.
The first step of Bola Ahmed Tinubu regarding the socio-economic activities in Nigeria, where we may say that we may not regret them, that they are not there. But let's see now, especially on the issue of subsidy, until we are able to see the amount of money you remove, which you call subsidy, and it transform into a positive action in Nigeria. That is when we will know. That is when we will know. Otherwise, we can't jump into conclusion.
Time will tell.
When we're talking about subsidies, subsidy, does it have any merit.
The only,
Genuine merit now.
the only
Because you know some people were saying that there was no subsidy. Some people said there was no subsidy.
Good.
So, but if this subsidy that has been removed, do you think there's any merit in that removal?
if the subsidy, like he said Cameroon, Niger, some neighboring countries are now shouting
Yeah.
blue mother or whatever. That means subsidy has a significant role playing. And from all we have gathered, we found out that, like, from what the president is saying before he came, and all the presidential candidates, 2003,
Yeah,
all of them said they will remove
yes,
subsidy.
yes,
That is the
way out.
A major obstacle. Because they have I say some amount of money, large amount of money, which they put to trillion nairas that the government is using for the subsidy, whatever. So if they remove that, like he said, we will see what will that money turn to, the turnover of the money around in the lives of a typical Nigerian. The only thing we want, the Nigerian want to see, is not how beautiful, how nice is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president we have. It is the belief that we have that he has the antecedent and he has the wherewithal to move the nation forward. And we want to see. So if, like me, I will end it, if by, let's say, after some time, we've not seen any improvement in
Social
power sector, the power supply, the same old story. It has been like that ever since. There has not been an administration that has solved the problem of power supply in Nigeria. If we have not seen that, then we look at him now, what are we saying? Because that is what concerns every Nigerian. Be you Adebayo, Danladi, Ekpeyon, whatever. The common man, it's light, food, water, basic amenities. We want to see the improvement. Before we now start, I'll still come back to we're going to give them in Cameroon or in Niger or in Benin Republic.
Now, you have said that, which I think I want to answer too. Well, Taiso Larry in his book, My Advice to Young Nigeria, is a leap before you look. You know, the common says you look before you leap. It's a leap before you look. So, like a social science person, I don't know, maybe I have to, but people will conclude on their own. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been looking for this opportunity for a very longer time. And meanwhile, he was one of those people who staged a sort of protest against subsidy. And when somebody said he's going to remove subsidy, they fought against him.
Yes.
These people, they are in government now. Now they said they have removed subsidy. Before you do that, there is a step that he must take. And what is that step? One, what about the workers? I am earning 40,000 naira. Don't forget that 30,000 naira is the minimum wage, and I'm buying petrol 500 naira. Though some states, I think they have done what I like. 3 days per day.
When somebody earns a salary of 40,000 naira a month, what is he going to buy petrol for?
If you have
don't
a car,
forget I have a car. Wait a minute.
Even
if I don't have a car, you shouldn't have another business because your law says I should have farm. And that is exactly
what
you have farm. Yes, that's exactly what
another business.
No, how many Nigerians really have? Do you have? Do I have?
I have farm.
I don't have.
So how many?
How many people? Yeah, that is. You know that the percentage is very small. So the point is, you gave me 40,000 naira, and I will be coming from Olodo down to Secretariat.
Even when
how do you think I'm going to go?
Transportation itself.
So it's something.
No.
To me, it's a wrong. This man really, what he has done is a wrong time. Otherwise, if you have provided an opportunity, then why did you go against it at the first instance?
No, you can make mistakes. Mistake is bound by human being.
Can you now imagine?
That's what
you use that theory to send away Jonathan.
No, we did not.
No,
they did it.
It is. Let me say this to you. That
they were blind.
It is the conspiracy of the elite that sent Jonathan
They
away.
wanted to come to government. Sorry,
I'm afraid.
They wanted to come to government.
So you are not using propaganda to send him away. Why should you do that?
That is politics.
Why should you do that?
No. Gentlemen,
that's not politics.
Gentlemen, I'm afraid we have to come to the end of this program. But I just want to allow you to have one take. Just the last take.
Okay.
What are your expectations?
From this man.
Just one.
No, let him express himself.
I know, we're talking about time.
President Bola Ahmed
time
Tinubu is my president.
Okay.
And I
cannot
agree.
dispute that.
And I can't dispute
Are
that.
you not a Nigerian?
Therefore, everything that is in his blueprint before he has this opportunity that he has written down, which I think is one of those things that they have copied from, whether Awolowo or Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, they should put it into practice right from the word go.
Okay.
Failure to do that, that means a failure too.
What will you say? What will be your last take?
My last take. I'm not a seer. I'm not a prophet. But I can predict. And I'm predicting it today. That it is a broom revolution.
I will hold you by your word. You know me now.
Let me
hold
me.
I will hold
It's
you
a
by your
broom
It is on this
revolution.
note that
I will hold you by your word.
We have
And
to
this
come
is
to
the
the
time
end
for Nigeria to
of
move
this
forward.
program. And it's a pity we would have loved to be here with you viewers. But then until we come your way again, which we will definitely do. Am I speaking of my?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, soon.
Definitely come
You
back
see us
soon.
soon.
You will see us soon.
I need to
My
tackle
name-
this man so much. He is being insane. Yeah.
My name is Khalid Olondari, and
I've been Bola Ahmed.
Comrade Femi Babalola Obagun.
next time. Bye for now.
K Links TV, the leading experience.